Okay, let me just check if we are live. All right, and we are live. A warm welcome to each and everyone. Thank you so much for patiently waiting for today's Zipinar. So, as mentioned from the last webinar, we will be having two new guest speakers and two new fresh topics that we will share with you today. So, this platform or webinar, we call it Let Us Talk It Zipinar. This is a free knowledge sharing platform wherein professionals will freely share their knowledge and expertise and experience in this platform. And anyone who'd be interested for those knowledge um, takeaways, you can freely interact in our sessions. You can do it on Facebook and on YouTube, or you can join in our Zoom live meeting ID, which is posted in the social medias that we have advertised this talk. And this is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, which is an IT company based in Detroit, Michigan. And they wanted to give back to the community. So they initiated this free knowledge sharing platform as they believe that knowledge should be free. And information may be anywhere with the use of internet, but it hits different when a seasoned professional shares their experience on that particular information. So here we are today, and we'll be sharing you those topics. The first topic that we have is the power of words. So we will be diving into the transformative uh, realm of the power of words and emotional intelligence, uncover the profound impact language has on creativity, communication, and community. And to deliver this topic is a creativity expert, which is Elizabeth Tonier. And he's a founder of Feel Good 101, a company that believes in the healing power of arts and how creativity can enhance our productivity and overall well being in every area of our lives. Through creative workshops, our speaker helps people redesign, reshape, and rewrite their narratives, empowering them to live the life they desire and deserve. And without further ado, we have here Elizabeth to deliver the first topic for this webinar.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen now. So let's go. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Hi, everyone. First of all, it's a real pleasure for me to be here and to be able to deliver this workshop to you because this is one of my favorite topics. To be honest with you, I truly believe that anyone who masters the power of words can radically change their narrative, their reality for the better, and live the life they truly deserve. So, for the next 30 minutes, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you as much as I can and to give you tools, tips to enhance your ability to create. Okay? But before that, kind reminder, please. Just make sure that all your distractions, that you staying hydrated, that you're taking notes, and that you're keeping an open mind. If you have any questions, please save them for later or put them in the chat box, and Phil will let me know later. So let's dive in, beautiful people. The first simple, obvious question is, what is a word? What is a word? According to Oxford Dictionary, a word is a single, distinct, meaningful element of speech or writing used with others or sometimes alone to form a sentence. So the main function of a word is to communicate, to express, to materialize our thoughts into the physical world, into the matter. We communicate with others, and again, most of the time, with ourselves. Meaning, And here's a simple statement that I'm pretty sure all of you will agree with. Words have the power to destroy or to create your reality. Let me say it again, just to emphasize the importance of these words. Words have the power to destroy or to create your reality. Therefore, knowing that, one of the questions is, how does it really work? How can we control it? How can we master it for our highest good? Well, I'm not quite sure where you are right now with your relationship with words. Perhaps when things don't go your way, you have the tendency to blame others for your misery. When you make a mistake, when you fail, when you don't do the things you are supposed to, maybe you talk to yourself in a bad way, like, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm useless. Or for example, you just forgot something, you just forgot to do something, and you will say to yourself something like, oh, such an idiot, such a, I'm trying to stay polite here, but I'm sure you can find stronger words to illustrate what I'm trying to say here. It could be that you are the type of person to project your frustrations onto others. Your words are hurtful, sharp, and mean. You have no emotional intelligence whatsoever, and sometimes you don't even realize how this affects you and the people around you. You just live in this bubble, a dark cloud of negativity. Now, look, imagine you waking up in the morning and the first thing you say is, thank you. Thank you to God, to life, to the universe, Allah, Yeshua, Yahweh, whatever your belief is. You just show gratitude to have made it to another day. Yeah, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you say, you know what? Today is about to be a great day. I'm ready to be a better me. I'm ready to be kind and compassionate. I'm ready to be a better friend, a better partner, colleague, neighbor. I'm ready. I'm ready to live more in the moment, to experience the joy of being right here on earth. I am not perfect, but I embrace it all. I'm thankful to my flaws who push me to evolve to be a better person. Thank you. I am worthy. I deserve to be loved, to be seen, to be heard. I deserve peace and harmony. I deserve to dream big, to follow my heart's desire. Oh, yes. I feel good today. I feel real good. I feel sexy also. I feel alive. I feel fresh. Picture this. You now understand the impact that words can have on your reality. And you decide to play with it. Choosing your words carefully becomes a winning tool. You are now aware that words are magical, that they can co-create a better world for yourself and a better world for others. Now, guys, if this is where you are right now, and if this is where you would like to be, would you agree that you might need to change something in order to get you there? Yes? And the thing that that you need to change, drum rolls, it's your mindset. You need to change your mindset. With a new mindset comes new results. Your mindset needs to shift. Simple as that. It needs to shift. A radical decision has to be made in order for you to shift your reality from where you are right now to where you want to be. So, why do I want to change the way I communicate with myself and others? Why do I want to change my reality? What will I gain from it? What kind of life do I wish to manifest? In order to get a new mindset, a growth mindset, we have to understand how the thought process works, how our mind works. Then reset, reprogram, and reconnect everything. Like I said earlier, we as humans, we are co-creating our reality with the universe, the world, the nature, others, and ourselves. Our dominant thoughts are converted into feelings, which are sensations in our body, to emotions, which are state of being. Feelings and emotions are the fuel needed to take action into the physical world. They shape our behaviors and habits. So, whatever constant dominant thoughts you cultivate in your mind, you will become it and you will attract it. Meaning, to have a better life, you have to master how your mind works. And what comes out of your mouth or the words you are writing, also, everything starts with a thought. Simple as that. So, how to master your mind? The mind is made of your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. We don't have that much time today to dive deeper into this topic, but hear me out. Our subconscious mind is in control of 95% of our actions on a daily basis. That's a lot. So, according to many studies that you can find out there, if you wish to dig deeper. So, what does it really mean? It means that we are only in control of 5% of our actions. Do you realize how little and scandalous this is? And we can change it. One thing that I believe you have to understand right now is that the subconscious mind is that friend who will always back you up, no matter what. It will prove to the world, to you, that you are right. Example, Sophie says to herself every day, "Ah, I don't think I will find true love someday. Look at me. I don't think I'm pretty enough. Look at my nose." Her subconscious mind will be like, yeah, that's my girl. She's 100% right. And I'm going to prove it. Bim, bam, boom. Sophie's subconscious mind will find a way to manifest her thoughts into reality to prove her that she's right. So she will probably stay single for a while, or she will find a narcissist. Simple as that again. What does it show us? That we are actually in charge. We are responsible, consciously or unconsciously, of our life's experiences. So, really, really beautiful people, be mindful, choose your thoughts and your words carefully. I have some examples of scenario. For example, I think many of us have experimented this situation once in our life. You know, you had a rough night, you didn't sleep much, so in the morning, you're not quite in the mood, that type, the grumpy type. And you can't really hide it. It's visible, yeah? You arrive at work, even if you almost call sick, and one of your colleagues says to you, "Oh my God, Sophie, you look like hell. You look like, what happened?" So now, what is the issue here? What is the issue with what this colleague said? If you're lucky enough to have a home, you probably have a mirror like Sophie does. She knows how she looked like when she left her apartment. Does she need you to remind it to her? Hmm, I don't think so. And this is part of emotional intelligence. Read quickly the room. Observe first before talking and understand what should be said or not, when should it be said or not. Show compassion by saying something like, "Sophie, I'm going to grab myself a coffee or drink. Would you like something?" And then perhaps Sophie will open up to you and tell you about her terrible night and why she looked like a mess today. Simple as that again. Just by doing that, you might change Sophie's rest of the day. Try to be kind. And that's the same with your partner. Avoid saying things you might regret later. When a situation like this happens, is usually that we lost control of our emotions, and too often we let our emotions like grudges, anger, fear take over us and make us act in a way that is out of balance. And when we do that, it always creates chaos. Always. One hurtful word can stay with us for so long, create trauma that can be difficult as adults to heal. So aspire to create with your words a positive, harmonious atmosphere everywhere you go, as much as possible. Give compliments to people in the subway, on the streets, give them compliment about their outfit. You might just, again, you might make their day. Smile, listen more than you speak also. If you could listen 80% of the time and speak 20%, you will see a huge shift in understanding the world and its surroundings. Seriously. So, what is a EQ, emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, manage your own emotion, and empathize with others' people's emotions. We have self-awareness, is when you are aware of your own emotions. We have self-regulation. It's when you can manage your own emotions. Social skills. You can read the room, like for Sophie's case, for example. Empathy. You understand people's emotion. Okay? So mastering this skill can take you to leading positions in your career. This is the skill that every leader must have. And if you can have this, like you can use this in your everyday life, it will change you completely. And really, if you're not getting into it yet, just get on board. Okay, so now I have a few tips for you that you can take today to right now change your narrative. First one, the famous, I'm sure many of you knows about it, is the I am affirmations. So you start your sentence with I am, and you create the sentence that you want. So for example, I am abundant, I am successful, I am beautiful, I am lucky. The only thing that I would suggest with affirmations, if you need to take action upon it, you can't say I am abundant and wait for money just to fall off the sky. You cannot do that. You have to work on it. You have to take action every day. If you keep on doing that, you will rise your vibration at the right level of the things that you want. And this is how you will manifest. Yeah. So we have this. Then you have the hairband technique. I love that one. So you put a hairband on your wrist, and every time you have a bad thought, you just pull the hairband. I know it can sound a little bit cruel, but believe me, after a couple of times, even more, you will be tired to hurt yourself. So you will start to reprogram your mind. Okay. Now, the other one, saying stop. I love that one actually. It looks like you look like crazy when you're doing it, but it's really efficient. So again, each time you quote yourself having a negative vocabulary, a negative thought, you just say stop and you change it right away. You don't dwell into it. You say stop, you reprogram it straight away. And the more you're gonna do it, and you will see it's gonna become easier, and the less negative thoughts you will have, yeah? The other one, we have the pennies jar. A penny for your thoughts, they said, yeah? So fix the price. Fix your price. How much cost a negative thought in your life? Just one word that you might change your entire day, or the course of perhaps good things, good opportunities that were supposed to come in your way. Just by saying one negative word can change everything, and especially if you keep on saying it. For me personally, I cannot afford it. It's way too expensive. And one technique that I really love is the post-it. So you take post-its, you write positive thoughts everywhere on many, many post-its. And you just post it, stick it around your house. Anywhere you will know that you will see it at least 3 times a day. So it can be near your bed, on your fridge, in the bathroom, on your mirror. If you do that seriously, because you will be surrounded by this positivity, and your mind will adapt straight away. Your subconscious mind will adapt straight away. There you go. So, in conclusion, guys, for me, you have to master the power of words now, not tomorrow. The best time to apply it is now. The best time to change your life, to change the narrative, is always now. This is why you are here watching those educational talk, because you need information, you need education, something needs to change. Challenge yourself for 7 days, then 21 days, then make it a habit. You can even create challenge with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. Change the way you talk to yourself, to others. I believe you are the writer of your own story. Change your vocabulary, change your words, the adjectives that you use, elevate your synapses, take back control of your subconscious mind, and become the captain of your own boat. You are a powerful, powerful co-creator, a powerful action taker and manifester. Expression is a natural gift. Use it at your advantage and radically transform your reality to live the life you desire. So I wish that from now on, you're gonna make your life a masterpiece. If you need more guidance, support, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if you have any question now, Feel is whenever you want. Thank you.
Wonderful topic. Thank you so much for bringing the one up. Like, yeah, there. Well, I maybe I may have heard this one somewhere. Like, what is your take about like words can be a curse?
I believe that if you believe that, it will be. You know, is again, anything you believe, anything you put your attention, your focus on, will become your reality. It's all about what you believe, what because we all unique, yeah? We all unique, so we all see the world in our own way. This is why sometimes when you're having discussions, there is no point to argue with people because we all seeing things differently. So if you believe that words can be a curse, it will be. If you don't, it won't. For me, that's simple as that. That's your power. You in charge. You as the whole being. You in charge. At the end of the day, you are the one creating the words. You understand? You creating the words to create your reality, not to create you as a spirit, as a whole being. No, this is coming from a higher realm. Yeah.
Understood fully. Thank you so much for that one. So that was really a wonderful talk. Checking on Facebook and YouTube, we don't have any questions or interactions. So can you introduce like the Feel Good 101? Like what does they do? Do you have feature online events?
Yeah, sure. So Feel Good 101 is a platform that I created to help people really to change their narrative, to change their life through arts, creativity, and well-being workshop. At the moment, so we have two workshops that we're running. One is called The Art of Rebirth. We are teaching people 7 steps to master their life from chaos to harmony. So it's for people who, for example, are experiencing grief, depression, harsh breakup. It can happen, or just feeling down. Like losing total sense of purpose in your life. And we go through those 7 steps and help people to recreate completely their life. And we have also the power of words, like we did today in the shorter version. We run it for schools and we run it for companies. So we're teaching people how to talk to each other also and to create, uh, a nice environment for themselves and for others. Yeah, and you can find me. You have the website, feelgood101.com, and we are very active on Instagram. The Instagram is at ifeelgood101. And anytime, if you have any question, and anyone who has a question, you can DM me. Um, I always answer and get back to you if this is something that you might want to do.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And there you go. That completes. Yeah. So actually we are lucky today because we had the shorter version of one of their workshop. So and if you anyone would be interested in joining the other workshop that they have, feel free to contact or send a message to LinkedIn the using Elizabeth's name. So she responds real quick. And also, yeah, you can visit the website, feelgood101.com. So there you go.
Thank
All
you.
right, such
Thank you
a
very much.
wonderful topic. And from our attendees or Namrata, would you like to interact or you can move to the next topic?
There's a lot that I've taken back today, and Elizabeth, I'm going to put a rubber band on me. And the next time I think of something that's not good, I'm going to remember you
Yes,
and, and
yes,
that,
but don't hurt yourself too hard.
yeah, it's while, that so many of the things that you said is something that we should ideally naturally have imbibed by now. keeping in mind that we have, read these things on the internet and people talk about this, but it's so important. It's a constant reminder that you need to have, because even though a lot of these things it's very hard to actually put it in practice on a day-to-day basis. And you actually gave tools and tips of how to do it. So now every time my mind is wavering, I'm going to be pulling my rubber band.
That's great. Phil, you should do the same.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll do. We'll do definitely. Well, thank you so much for that one. And yeah, one we have from YouTube Rob Hillman. So, wishing you well. And he said, yes, you are right that each of us are in control of our lives. Totally agree. And for those anyone watching, feel free to type in your questions there. I will hand it over to our speaker so they can answer it live. All right. So that concludes the first topic, and we can move to the next topic today. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you again.
Yeah, please stay still in a while. You might want to interact in the next topic as well. So, the next topic is refining pitch delivery to enhance results. So, maybe this is also a shortened version because of the time constraints, but the goal is to cover the key areas that are important to refine pitch delivery in order to gain better results. So each and everyone knows and or can learn how to draft and create a pitch, but what is it that it takes to deliver an exceptional pitch? So we have our speaker today, which is a keynote speaker and soft skills trainer. Um, Namrata Asrani, and also an internationally certified, soft skills trainer and passionate speaker. And through the course of her sales and partnerships career prior to this event or to the current status, she is identified. She identified challenges people face to get their desired results, and curious and driven to help others gain the required skill set to perform to the best of their ability and gain desired results. And with us today, she will share those insights. And yeah, we will have like shortcuts probably. And there's a few of these techniques that she will share. And without further ado, we have here Namrata Asrani to deliver the topic.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm just going to pull up my screen. Okay. Before we get started, like Phil introduced me, I am Namrata Asrani. I'm an internationally certified soft skills trainer. I'm also a teaching faculty at the Indian School of Image Management, where I teach people to become soft skills trainers. So today, what we specifically are going to be covering is how can you actually deliver a pitch beyond, you have that you would put across to your client or your investors. So what is it that actually sets a pitch apart? In the interest of time, I can, this is a very vast topic. I'm going to do my best to do justice to the little that I will take you all through just a little ahead. The goal being today that what is it that you can do different from what you are already doing when it comes to delivering your pitch to get better results. Just a small quote, the secret to selling great work is to sell the idea of the work before you sell the work. If you sell what you're doing, whether it's a product or service, what is the core idea that you're going ahead and selling? What is the person actually getting out of it versus what are you getting out of it? So this is just a quote by Peter Cotter from his book, The Art of the Pitch. So before we go ahead in terms of, what are the key elements to actually, elevate your pitch, elevate the impact of it. Vanessa Van Edwards in her book Cues, conducted a study where she, surveyed and watched around 1,000 Shark Tank pitches to understand what went well and what went, wrong in every pitch. And there was a very interesting example that she got of Jamie Siminoff in 2013 when he came on Shark Tank and he pitched his product and all the investors said no. And he came back a few years later, and he got funding. In 2018, his company was sold to Amazon for $1 billion. So the concept or the core behind this was that what Jamie Siminoff did differently the next time he came around in Shark Tank. So there were two elements that she spoke about primarily, which was the vocal secrets or the vocal communication that was involved, which we will cover shortly. So, what are our key elements to deliver the exceptional pitch that we are talking about? The first is vocal secrets. Vocal secrets is simply to explain it, it's how you're modulating your voice. It's how your tone, your pitch, how you're actually feeling when you're talking. So it's not just about, saying words, but it's the feeling or the emotion that comes behind it. Okay. So researchers find that people determine how confident you are within 200 milliseconds of hearing you speak. That is honestly a fraction or like 1/4 of a second. So before you actually even say your first word, people have already identified, how you are as a person in terms of your confidence level. So that's how important your words are. So emotion that you're feeling, if you're bored, if you're angry, if you're upset at a particular standpoint when you're actually communicating, that is how your message is going to get delivered. So I'm not, if any of y'all have experienced this, if y'all are upset and you answer the phone and you don't want to tell the opposite person that you're upset about something, but your tone of voice will deliver it, even if you try to put on an act of being all right, or if you're trying to curb your anger and you're not trying to show it, the opposite person, even if you try to be the sweetest possible version of yourself, they are going to get a sense of what you actually feel, whether you say it with your words or not. So the way you feel in a particular moment, your emotion changes your voice. So going back to what Elizabeth said earlier today, and how our words impact what we feel, and that causes the emotion within us, and that will change the voice that you feel. So for in context over here, if you're really nervous before an important pitch, the emotion within you will depict it in your voice. So a simple thing that you can do is smiling. So when you smile, it makes you sound happier, and people are more likable when they smile. That's a known fact. That's also studied by Vanessa Van Edwards in her book Cues on Nonverbal Communication. So when you smile, you automatically give uh, the opposite person is automatically more inclined to hear you, to be engaged with what you're saying, and it's very hard for the opposite person to not smile back at you. While again, this is a really simple known fact, it's very hard for us to actually apply when we have a big day, an important page, or we have something, a lot of information stored in our head, and we are really gathering our thoughts before we actually go ahead and talk. Naturally, the ingredient goes through phrases like, so now let me give you an example. If I tell you that I'm happy to be over here, but my emotion when you just heard what I said did not really sound like I was happy, versus I say, hello everyone, I am thrilled to be here today. So you put an emphasis on the word that you are actually feeling, and you actually feel it from within. So when we talk about vocal secrets, I'm going to take you through an example of how you can build, your vocal chart or your vocal map before you actually go into any presentation as well. A little more about vocal communication. It takes a tenth of our seconds to recognize emotions conveyed by our voices. So adding vocal cues in your message, okay, is something that's very important. When we talk about the scripting just a little ahead, what you want to deliver, and this is specific to pitches and not necessarily in your personal lives, But what you want to deliver when you're giving out a pitch is something that you should map in a particular way. Words that you want to emphasize, words that you want to, probably not put too much emphasis on, where you want to smile, where you want to actually showcase an emotion if there's a grave problem. So while uh, we might be applying this to a certain extent when we think of the start of the pitch or the end of the pitch. But what is really important is that, is your audience actually there with you in the middle of your pitch? Are they really listening, or did they zone out because you probably spoke in a monotone, or you probably just didn't convey it in the conviction, or in the with the grit that you wanted to, that you planned to. So that's where vocal emotions need to be added to all your messages. You're not calling attention to yourself, you're calling attention to the ideas that you're selling or the ideas that you're pitching. So it's very important to remember, one, that it's never about you. So when you're talking about a pitch also, it's a problem that you want to solve. And it's a problem that you don't want to solve for yourself, but for the society, for the world, or in this case, for your client, for your investor. If you're selling a product or service, it's never about you. It's about the person that you're selling to, or it's about the audience that your product or service is for. So when you call attention to anything in the pitch, it needs to be related or centralized to the core idea, the core essence that is there behind your pitch, and keep aside, any sort of self-image that you want to put across over there, unless and until it's stories and examples that people can relate to. Studies say that 10% increase in vocal variety increases your audience's attention. So when we were talking about, the start of the pitch and the end of the pitch might be great. You really practiced it, you know exactly how to open it. But if people get lost along the way, they're going to remember that, hey, I didn't really know everything that she was talking about because I zoned out, or because I probably started checking my phone. So just a 10% change in this can change the way people listen to your pitch. If you're talking on big stages, if you're attending pitch day for at a incubator or an accelerator, this is something that you really, really need to keep in mind when it comes to delivering your pitches. Now, there's a fine difference between how much you practice vocal secrets, also a vocal variety in this case. Because if you practice it repeatedly, okay, uh, that is good. But if you script it to the extent that it's imbibed in your brain, where it becomes a monotonous thing for you, that you don't remember that you can speak at the back of your mind, so you lose the emotion out of it. So that the core essence, when you lose your emotion out of it, is where you're getting it wrong. So you need to be fluent with it when you're even practicing it, when you're even practicing your pitch for that matter. And if you ever attend the pitch craft program as well, I do emphasize and work a lot in terms of really practicing until it's actually at the back of your head. But in terms of vocal secrets, you can't script it. So the moment someone feels that the emotions that you're showcasing aren't true, is when it's going to probably backfire on you. So there has to be a fine line between these two things. So you need to be fluent at your script for that matter, but it also needs to come out naturally from you. So don't overdo it, in simple words. So here is a little thing that I've made for you all in terms of how can you probably put across vocal messages ahead. What you can do is, you can, one, create a non-verbal script, okay, where you add guidelines. So for example, if you want to say hi, we'll talk more about non-verbal communication and why it is important. But if you want to say hi, you can draw a hand next to the script. If you want to remember, or you need to remind yourself that it is important for me to smile at the start, so put a smiley next to hello. A word that you want to emphasize on, you can probably underline it. Good morning. So you want to emphasize on it. Or today. Today is an important day because. You want to emphasize on because, and you underline that. And third, a different thing that you can do is adding symbols. So if you want to pause, then a big full stop or a small round circle to pause. If you want to add speed, then you need to remind yourself that I cannot go too slow on this point. Thirdly, what you can do is you can even, how I've put on the left for y'all, you can put, cues like, okay, I need to raise my finger, so I need to put one over here. So that way you remember. And when you make a few vocal scripts as a speaker or, as a salesperson or even as someone who's, an entrepreneur, someone who's running a startup, this will become natural for you. You won't need to practice this, but the initial few pitches is where you can actually create a script like that. So I put one on the right for y'all. Y'all can make your own the next time you are going ahead for your pitch. Okay. Reading the room. Okay. So reading the room or to read the room is primarily understanding what your audience actually is feeling, what your audience is going through at that point in time. That is not being said with their words. It is a little tricky when it comes to online modes of communication if people aren't actually showing themselves on camera. Uh, but there are ways to do that as well. I mean, if they are visible, not if they've gone off camera. But when we talk about reading the room and reading the room in business, it says volumes. It is something, it is a learned and practiced skill. For few, it's naturally, within them to interpret this. But if you don't understand how to read the room, somewhere you're going to get the message really wrong. So reading the room will save you if you've said something wrong. Okay, how do I probably change this, modify this? If I lose this, I'm not going to get this investor. I really need these funds. I'm going to lose this client and I really want to work with him because of XYZ. So how or what are the core elements of reading the room in business? Reading the room in business, there are great, videos, and I really came across a really good Shark Tank pitch as well on where they told, the person who came for funding to actually read the room. Okay. If we had time, I would, make you all watch those videos as well. But let me tell you all about how or what are the core fundamentals to reading the room in business. Okay. The first and the most important, I would say, is observing. Okay. So when we talk about observing, you actually need to just sit back and relax. So when we spoke about in pitches, it's not about you, but it's about the opposite person. It's about the audience. Here, when you're delivering a pitch, you need to be aware and attentive. So are they fidgeting? Are they fiddling? Are their legs shaking? Do they want to move from here? Are they really interested in being over here? Are they making eye contact between each other? Are they pointing towards the door? Do they really want to leave? These are non-verbal cues that people give out that you need to, really clearly understand for the best of or for the best interest of your own. So you need to observe and really articulate in your mind. Again, this will come naturally to you with practice and with time. Second, listen attentively. So listening attentively and allowing others to talk actually somewhere goes hand in hand. So I'm not talking about hearing, but genuinely giving your ear to the person that is talking when they are talking. Okay. So reading the room in business, when you're directly delivering a pitch, you might not be able to listen attentively, but when the person is talking to you, when the person is asking you questions, or when people are talking between themselves while the pitch is going on, you need to really carefully listen to what they are saying, okay, and give them the chance to talk. A sales call or any form of communication should relatively be 80% of the other person talking, uh, and that 80% is when you're genuinely listening to them, and 20% is where you talk, where you actually share your insights, your inputs, what you want to talk about, and also address any of their questions and concerns. Now, the next thing, review first impressions. First impressions are, set in the initial 7 seconds of seeing someone. So is it that your first impression is always true? Most likely, it is said that it is, but that being said, it's not a guarantee that your first impression is always true. Someone might have come, really well dressed and, might be looking really nice, and you automatically feel drawn to the person and you feel the person is a really good person. But with time, you can probably interpret otherwise of the person with more interactions. So when we talk about reading the room, you need to really, mentally go back and understand that is this person what I thought when I initially interacted with them. This could happen within 30 minutes, within multiple days, but here we are talking about a one-time interaction. Then take time to use your learnings. Now, when you understand something about a person, you need to know that you need to see a repeated action of it. If someone did something once, you can't hold them accountable that this is this person's nature and this is how this person is always going to be. So you need to take time to understand what your learnings are, and before delivering any pitch, actually go back and think the last time I met them, this is their habit, this is what they like doing, this is what they dislike doing. Then go back when you go to the next time, when you have the pitch the next time, and actually talk about that with the people or with the person, or refer to something that you actually had a conversation about. So that's where you're taking time and using what you genuinely learned about the person. Next, being mindful. Okay, so you know that you know this about this person. I've interpreted that the manager of this company likes so and so thing. You need to be mindful that you don't directly tell them that I've understood this about you by observing this. You need to know the fine line between what you share and what you don't share, and you're not accountable to share everything to everyone that you know about. And be detached. So don't be obsessed with, constantly, focusing on reading the room literally, and be detached with your learnings and the outcome of the entire process as well. Now, what are some of the non-verbal cues that, make all the difference, or that can, really elevate the way you deliver a pitch? Non-verbal cues is primarily what you're saying without your words, and what we also know it as is body language. The power posture is where you hold your hands by your waist and your legs strong and wide. Okay. So wide stance, arms on your waist and your back straight. So when you practice the power posture before any picture, before anything, do it. Look at yourself in the mirror for 2 minutes and then go into the pitch, then go into the meeting. That is going to change the way you feel, and that's going to change the way you deliver. Then maintain eye contact. Eye contact for a few seconds, maintain it around the room. Don't stare at one or two people only through the course of the time. Open body language. For the little that you can see over here, your body needs to be open in terms of, not covering, slouching, shrugging. You need to actually be confident, not hide your arms, hide within your arms, or hide yourself, or, self-soothe yourself. So try to have as open body language as you can. Open palms. Obama, the president of the United States, was known for, waving his hand. And a study on charisma also showed about how he always waved his hand and how he showed his hand to the audience. So when you open your palms and you showcase your palms, it showcases honesty, that you're not hiding anything. So always try to keep your palms open when you're communicating with anyone, even when it's a one-to-one conversation. Get comfortable with the space for where you're presenting. If you're presenting on pitch day at an incubator or an accelerator, then just go get a feel of the place. If it's a one-on-one meeting, that's going to be hard. But if there's a particular podium or anything that you have, then take a walk, understand, feel where each thing is, to actually get a hang of things. Non-verbal cues that will actually make a difference is one, gestures. Okay, this is good, not good. All hand gestures and hand movements will actually engage your audience. So how it works is that when someone is talking, if we are engaging with hand movements, then the person is actually following that. The likelihood of them ever getting lost in your conversation in their head is a lot lesser. Again, confident posture that we were talking about doesn't always have to be, the power pose, but a confident posture in general, whatever stance you're comfortable with or how you're sitting. And then your entrance, how you're carrying yourself is extremely, extremely important. So make a confident entrance each time. Now, the last thing before we close is when you deliver a pitch, never try to be someone else. You don't have to be, the best businessman in the world. You don't have to try to be the best of anyone. The whole goal or the whole motto is that you walk in the room at your best, being just yourself and not trying to replicate anyone else, because there's no there's no two Phils and there's no two Elizabeths, and there's always going to be just one of you. So walk in the room at your best. I uh, tried to cover as much as I could today, but there's a very detailed program that I have. And thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this session with you all.
Thank you so much, Namrata. And yes, that was really very informative. So, because I had an experience like doing sales pitches as well, way back when I was on like BPO or like call center company. So yeah, it takes me back. So and also like there's some new learning. Actually, I hope I could still use them, but yeah, maybe someday when I try yeah, trying out the different ways of doing the pitch. But really, thank you so much. And for those who are like will be on sales industry and or doing their businesses to pitch their businesses, definitely you can take advantage of this. Like let's say a shortcut or a shortened version of a workshop, and this is very helpful. And so, do you have like an upcoming online uh workshops or platforms, or do you have a book, or do you have a website?
Right. You can find me on LinkedIn with the name Namrata Asrani. And I do conduct group trainings, corporate trainings, and one-to-one coaching sessions as well. So Pitchcraft is a program that I'm going to be working with corporates on. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and take this forward.
Already, that's perfect. Well, yes, Namrata is very responsive on LinkedIn, so you can just send her a message if you wish to interact or just do offline business with Namrata. So, all right, I think that concludes today's topic for the Zipinar. And well, would like to check if Elizabeth would like to interact or have some few opinions or questions.
No, it was great. It was great. Very informative. I really enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you, Namrata.
Thank you.
All right then. So that concludes the topic for today, and we have a minute to actually take the full hour. And with our guest speakers right now, we really thank you so much from Let Us Talk It team. Thanking you for your efforts, knowledge, and experience that you have shared in this platform. And for those who missed this live session, you can watch this uploaded session on YouTube, the Let Us Talk It page, and also on Facebook as well. I can just search Let Us Talk It Facebook page, and you'll be able to check on this webinar particularly, and also for the past webinars. And also, we'd like to invite you again next Wednesday, the same time. That's 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we will be having two new topics with two new guest speakers. Definitely, that will give you their experience, a taste of their experience on the topics that they will be sharing, as well, same as today. And for our seasoned professionals, speakers that we have today, thank you so much again for bringing the best of your experience. And with those topics you have covered, the words you have shared, it definitely showed how far you have been in your industry or in your area or line of expertise. Alrighty. So, well, that brings us to the end of this webinar. And for those who have watched live, thank you so much for your time and effort in joining our live. And we would welcome and look forward for you joining again in our next Wednesday session. So, thank you so much, everyone. And thank you,
Thank you,
speakers.
Phil. Thank you, Namrata.
All the
Thank
best
you.
to everyone. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.